Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Saturday, January 13th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with WWE Smackdown broadcast live on Fox from the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska. In the main event of the show, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton teamed up to defeat Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso in a handicap match after Orton pinned Uso. Following the bout, the winning side would continue their attack by hitting Uso with the steel ring steps and triple powerbombing Sikoa through the announce desk.
Right now, Styles and Knight with the worst of intentions.
And they're not finished yet. If Roman Reigns made a statement last week, well now it's the turn of Orton, Knight and Styles. Solo through the table.
The bout had been made by SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis at the beginning of the show after Uso and Sikoa had attacked Cameron Grimes before Grimes was scheduled to face Grayson Waller. Knight, Styles, and Orton will take on Roman Reigns for the Universal title in a fatal four-way match at the Royal Rumble on January 27th. The match between Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes ended in a no contest after it was stopped by referee Ryan Tran. Theory had attempted a seated springboard Spanish fly on Hayes from the top turnbuckle, but both men landed awkwardly with their heads colliding together, forcing the stoppage. Following the show on WWE's social media accounts, the company stated, quote, "Following their match tonight on SmackDown, Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes were evaluated for injuries. They both suffered face contusions and will both be okay," end quote. In other results, Bianca Belair defeated Bayley in a singles match, while Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo defeated Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde after Garza pinned Wilde. Before the finish, Carlito came out of the crowd to brawl with Santos Escobar, who had joined the commentary desk for the match. Following an interview segment earlier in the program where United States champion Logan Paul threatened to sue Kevin Owens for punching him and giving Paul a black eye, Owens responded with a challenge of his own for next week's SmackDown.
But again, after seeing your face and that bruise, that black eye, everything, I understand what you're trying to do. I totally get it. So how about this? I think we need to talk about this whole thing, the lawsuit and whatever you're threatening. Let's talk about it face-to-face next week on SmackDown, where you get to have the biggest honor of your miserable career by being a guest on the Kevin Owens Show. What do you say? I hope to see you there.
Also last night, AEW presented Rampage Homecoming on TNT with matches taped last Wednesday night at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. The main event of the show saw the Dark Order team of Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, and John Silver defeat Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, and Jake Hager after Reynolds pinned Hager. The Dark Order trio were accompanied to the ring for the match by -1 Brody Lee Jr. In the show's opener, Eddie Kingston retained the Continental Classic crown over Wheeler Yuta.
Kingston, can he hit that back fist? As Yuta rises to his feet, yes! There it is! But Yuta doesn't go down. Oh, Yuta through the lariat. Kingston intercepted a half-and-half suplex. And now Eddie Kingston. And he fired up. Looking to put Yuta away. The Northern Lights bomb. 1, 2, 3. Oh, tough match.
In other results, Swerve Strickland pinned Matt Sydal, and Hikaru Shida defeated Queen Aminata. In WWE corporate news, Seth Krause has been named as TKO Group Holdings' new Chief Legal and Administrative Officer, according to a press release issued by the company on Friday. Krause had served as Endeavor Group Holdings' Chief Legal Officer from June 2014 until October of 2023, and as Endeavor's Chief Legal and Administrative Officer from October 2023 to December of 2023. According to the release, Krause will report directly to TKO President Mark Shapiro. Son of the late Marvin Krause, a Tony Award-winning Broadway producer, Seth Krause is set to serve as TKO's head of legal until December 31st, 2027, with an announced base salary of $2 million a year. In news from the crime blotter, independent wrestler Darnell Cottrell, better known as Black G's, was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries after being shot in the hip during an attempted carjacking on Thursday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. According to a press release issued by the National Wrestling Alliance, Cottrell was getting into his car when he was approached by 4 masked assailants. During the exchange, Cottrell was shot once in the hip. The 44-year-old wrestler, who holds a permit for a concealed carry, returned fire and the attackers fled the scene. Police investigators are currently reviewing surveillance footage for any possible leads. Cottrell was scheduled to make his in-ring return on Saturday for the National Wrestling Alliance after being out almost a year as he dealt with multiple myeloma, a form of blood cancer that develops in plasma cells of the bone marrow. In a statement issued by the NWA, Cottrell expressed his gratitude for the support he's received, stating, quote, "I was looking forward to making my return this weekend. I would love to make the trip regardless of the soreness and pain I'm in. However, my gut tells me to stay home with my family this weekend. I look forward to making my return at the next NWA event. Thank you to everyone for your continued support." End quote. In independent wrestling news, Game Changer Wrestling ran their No Compadre event at Thalia Hall in Chicago Friday night and streamed on Triller TV. In the main event, Blake Christian made the 30th successful defense of the GCW World title by turning back the challenge of Calvin Tankman. In other title matches, Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo retained the GCW World Tag Team title with a victory over August Matthews and Davey Bang, and Rina Yamashita held on to the GCW Ultra Violent title by defeating John Wayne Murdoch. In the show's main event, Mustafa Ali made his first American independent appearance since leaving WWE in a winning effort over Gringo Loco. In other results, Nick Wayne defeated Leo Rush, Joey Janela beat Myron Reed, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd topped Ciclope and Miedo Extremo, Dan the Dad and Mance Warner fought to a no contest, Shane Mercer won a 7-man scramble match, Aries, Latigo, and Oniel Bendito defeated Aramis, Cole Radrick, and Demonic Flamita in a trios match, and in another 6-person tag team match, Ali Catch, Effie, and Manders defeated the team of Colt Cabana, Jimmy Lloyd, and Steph DeLander. And in health news, Afa Noi, better known as Afa the Wild Samoan, is in a Florida hospital recovering from 2 mild heart attacks that he suffered during the past 2 days. According to a post on Facebook, Afa was initially admitted to the hospital on Thursday night to deal with a case of pneumonia, but then suffered a mild heart attack upon arrival. The 81-year-old suffered a second mild heart attack on Friday and was sent for a heart catheterization. Yesterday's Facebook post noted that Afa, quote, "was doing okay, his spirits are high, he isn't out of the woods yet, but will be kept in the hospital for a day or 2 for observation and monitoring. He thanks everyone for their concern, continued love, and prayers," end quote. On December 12th, Afa underwent 2 exploratory heart valve procedures, and it was feared he may need to undergo valve replacement. Also last month, due to his ongoing health issues, Afa was forced to cancel a seminar that was planned for January 13th at his WXW Wrestling Training School in Mineola, Florida. A 3-time WWF World Tag Team Champion alongside his younger brother Sika, the Wild Samoans were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.